Check it out, I bought a new Bronco. Let's take a look at this thing. So this is the black diamond with the Sasquatch package. It's pretty crazy. When I was a little kid, I saw a real Sasquatch. So the Sasquatch package just gives you 35s with some cool wheels, some bigger fender flares, and it's pretty neat. The dealership had it in my color, black and gray, just like the monster truck. So let's take a closer look at this thing. I always said out of all the new vehicles on the market today, I think this is the coolest looking one. It just looks good from every angle. Definitely looks like the first gen Broncos, very much resembles that. Even the fenders, the hood, all that, the grill. Grill's cool, it's like a matte black. The Bronco script LED headlights. They did an awesome job on this thing. I just had to have one. It's 2.7 liter V6, so it's not a huge displacement V6, but it's twin turbo, so this thing gets out of its own way. It's got a full-size spare tire, that's pretty neat. Bronco right there is cool. So this just opens this way, and you got a good amount of storage back here. And this comes up. Seats go forward like that. Interior is pretty cool. Marine grade vinyl, so you don't have to worry about spills or anything like that. Pretty cool little American flag etched into the shifter handle with the horse. Big infotainment screen. Pretty neat gauge cluster right there. This is a 24 model. 25s changed a little bit. They got a full digital display instead of the speedometer. I kind of like the speedometer though. I actually wish they had a speedometer and a tach. That would be pretty cool. So you have the big screen right there and then 2 mechanical gauges. But either way, this looks awesome. Very pleased with this thing. A lot of people complain about like plastic dash, but I like that because it's not gonna get damaged like a vinyl dash pad would, especially because you could take the top off, take this thing out off-road, and if you get caught in the rain, this will probably stay pretty nice. You got power outlets everywhere. This up here is neat. You can lock the front axle, the rear, or you can lock the rear brakes. Well, one brake, so if you're turning right, the right rear brake will lock. If you're turning left, the left rear brake will lock. And what that does, it allows for a really tight turn. Auxiliary switches, in case you want to add lights or something. Power windows right here. I like that they have the switch right there. There's some options that took some getting used to at first that I was never really big on, like remote start. I was never a huge fan of that, but I'm kind of liking that now. Heated seats, not a big fan of those at first, but I like that if I turn the passenger heated seat on, I go grab some takeout or something, I could set the bag in the seat, keeps the food warm in the winter, so that's one plus of that. What else? It's got a really nice stereo system. It's got XM radio with the navigation. It's really cool stuff. Another option I don't really like are these headlights. So if you turn them off, you can work them manually or auto. I don't like auto headlights. I like to do everything manually. I come from driving like a Ram 5500 every day or my Kenworth W900, so I like manual stuff, but I just gotta get with the times. And then this right here, this button is auto stop start, so that's annoying, and this thing will shut off at a stoplight when you come to a stop and then restart when you take your foot off the brake. You can disable that, you can turn it off, but every time you shut the vehicle off and restart it, that resets. So every time I drive this thing, I gotta remember to hit that button. Not a huge deal. I'm sure somebody makes a kit. I think I read somewhere that you can get rid of that permanently, so I'll probably be doing that. Now I'll show you under the hood. Definitely a lot going on under here. It's pretty peppy though. V6 twin turbo. This thing moves. The Raptor has a 3.0, so I'd like to take one of those things for a spin. I definitely would have bought a Raptor if they came in two-door, but Raptor's so wide it'd probably look kind of funny in a two-door. Electric brake booster. Awesome brakes. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Another cool thing, all the body panels on this unbolt. So you can see right here, under here there's another bolter. So if you smash this thing up off-road, you can just unbolt it instead of, if it didn't unbolt, you have to bring it to a body shop, get a new panel welded in. Speaking of panels, I guess these things are aluminum. So let's see, this has a magnet. Anyone who knows what these tools are. This little pocket screwdriver you get from the Snap-on and Matco tool guys. These things are so useful, but they got a magnet. So a magnet won't stick to aluminum because it's a non-ferrous metal. So let's see, really gently. I don't want to mess up the paint. Okay, magnet doesn't stick. So you can see it's a magnet. All right, so the hood's aluminum. Let's check the fender. Nope, doesn't stick. Let's try the door. Nope. Let's try the quarter panel. Make sure there's no dirt on the end of this. Yep, so that's steel. That's aluminum, so that's cool. So everything's aluminum except for the quarter panels. Let's check the rocker panels. Yeah, those are steel. Steel rock guards, that's part of the Sasquatch package. So far I'm very pleased. This thing rides amazing. A lot of people say these things are impractical, and I get why they say that because they're not cheap. So I'll show you what I pay for this thing. It's kind of surprising how much money these things cost. So here's the window sticker with all the options. It's got a total MSRP of $56,875. That's a lot of money for a two-door, almost kind of a recreational vehicle in a way, but this compares with the Wrangler. But definitely, I think it's an awesome daily driver. So part of the reason I bought this is because the CNC business has been really taking off, and I've been selling a ton of these Cloudbuster chassis. So my other daily driver is a Ram 5500. I love it. It's Cummins diesel dually. I bought it brand new. It's a 2017. But I've been making so many trips back and forth to UPS, shipping things out. So running around in that thing is, one, it costs a lot in fuel, but it's also a really rough riding truck. So it's not the best thing, and it's huge. So maneuvering around a tight parking lot isn't that fun. So I definitely needed a good, reliable, nice driving daily driver, and also being an SUV, I could put a lot of packages in when I go to UPS. So it's nice to have a normal vehicle. So it's pretty cool. Suspension's really neat. It's got independent front suspension, solid axle rear. And supposedly these things are awesome off-road. But you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to pop this thing up on a lift, check it out real quick. So I'll do that right now. Okay, let's see what this thing looks like underneath. It's got a big tailpipe, it's like 3-inch. I'm not sure, but I believe that's a Dana 44. Decent sized axle tubes. Remote reservoir Bilstein shocks. I think that's part of the Sasquatch package. It's kind of neat, the shock bolts right here. Nice rugged trailing arms. Skid plates under everything. Nice size sway bar. It's an independent front suspension, aluminum control arms. This thing handles nice, rides really nice. With plastic transmission pan, I don't like that. Nice bracing. It's cool, it's got a nice solid frame. It's neat too, it's got like they sprayed oil inside of the frame to help keep it from rusting. I bought a Jeep in 2017. I traded in after a year because one winter and the frame was already starting to rust. It's definitely a good sized beefy frame right there. It's kind of weird, no U-joints, just that style drive shaft. I'm sure somebody probably makes upgrades for this. Eventually I'll probably throw an exhaust system. Being that I own a custom exhaust shop, I got no excuse not to put a nice exhaust in this thing. I'd probably buy one instead of make one though, because I am a Magnaflow dealer. No trailer hitch. These things can't tow a lot anyway, so I probably won't put a hitch on it. It's pretty crazy. This is a 10-speed automatic transmission. It shifts really nice though. Very pleased with this thing. So overall, this is a very cool vehicle. No buyer's remorse on this thing. I love this dash. This thing's cool. Check out the backup camera. Look at how clear that is. Usually these things have the resolution of an old Game Boy, but this thing's nice. So a lot of people ask me if I'm going to take this thing wheeling. I'll probably take it light off-road, but I have another vehicle I'll show you real quick. It's my '59 Ford pickup, and that's built for off-road. So I'll take this thing light off-road, but for the heavy stuff, I'll take my pickup. I'll show it to you real quick. This is my other truck right here. This is the reason I wouldn't really four-wheel the Bronco. Just because I got a lot of work. I've had this truck for years. I've done a ton of work to this thing. I'm kind of obsessed with these things. I bought every one of these trucks like within a 100-mile radius. I must have dismantled like 30 or 40 of these things. I also have another one over there that I was going to take apart, but that's a clean California truck, so I stopped taking it apart, and I don't know until I figure out what I want to do with it. It'll stay as is. So I'll show you a closer look at this thing too. So it's a 1959 Ford. I built a tube chassis for it. It's got 18-inch king coilovers, so you can see the tube chassis. And all these suspension joints and everything, and also like the rear sway bar, it's the same as what I run on the monster truck. So this is a rugged little truck. If you take a look out back, right there you can see the coilovers, fuel cell. These are 44-inch swapper TSLs, Dynatrac axles. I had Dynatrac build me these axles. Look at the size of these things. It's a Dana 80 front and rear. These things are monsters. 513 gears. Holley EFI, it's a Holley 12.3 Pro Dash. It's got an HP multi-port EFI. White Lightning, Magna power shifter. Small block stroker motor, AFR heads. Thing moves right along. I think I might put a Coyote motor in this thing though. I'm actually designing a new chassis, so maybe when I do the new chassis, I'll put the Coyote motor in. So anyway, that's it for now. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.